cloning sheep, fixing DNA, and building superphages. The life sciences are a popular and appealing choice both to study and as a career. They combine science's rigor and possibility of discoveries with real life applications that make valuable industries. Of these, medicine is, of course, the most directly appealing, but actually, the most fundamental breakthroughs rely on discoveries in chemistry. One area that might not be so familiar is the intersection of chemistry and the life sciences. Today, I'll dive into the details of what it looks like to work as a researcher in these areas using one of the most important technologies to come out of it, namely gene editing. You'll get to see whether pursuing the intersection of chemistry and life sciences might be right for you. Ever since discovering that DNA is encoded by a very simple alphabet of just four letters or bases, it has been a dream to fully understand and decode this language of life. Simultaneously, a more ambitious question was, could we edit the language of life to correct for errors like genetic mutations that cause disease? Could we even design our genome to optimize for traits like intelligence? As an aside though, for a scientific researcher, it's rare to be working on such big questions. Most of the time you're studying an isolated system, maybe a protein signaling pathway or a quirky immune response. It's clearly important, but you'll need a lot of imagination to see the big picture. That's why the real reason to study science is curiosity. Would you be willing to run hundreds of experimental procedures trying to characterize a cell line or even a single biomolecule? You'll know it's promising, but there's no guarantee it will lead to anything truly groundbreaking. Another challenge for life science technologies is in the nature of medicine itself. Things need to be safe to be approved, and generally, the more common the disease, the larger the market. But also, the more common the disease, the safer the treatment needs to be because so many people will be using it. This means it's difficult to make a profit, and even such a promising and hyped up technology as gene editing has a limited number of companies actively funding research into it. Finally, even if you successfully find funding and stick through all the trials and tribulations of science research, it can be difficult to get credit and reward for your work. Patent law is meant to protect inventors by granting them rights over the use of their inventions for a suitable amount of time, approximately equal to how long it would otherwise have taken for that technology to arise. But in the case of gene editing, a major patent lawsuit has broken out between multiple groups of researchers that had worked on gene editing with slightly different focuses, spanning both the US and the EU. All that being said, science research is a generally high satisfaction job, especially working in industry, if you have sufficient education and get the experience to work in interesting labs. There are many specializations beyond gene editing that I've covered here, studying diverse areas such as infectious disease, pharmacology, biophysics, bioinformatics, and biomedical engineering. As you can see from this list, all the disciplines of science, technology, and engineering can be applied in the life sciences. And as it's such a new field, it is a great time to explore and see what you might like to do. If you feel ready to accept the challenges of science research, begin with speaking with teachers and later on even professionals about their work. Learn about the different fields I mentioned through reputable science journals and videos, and eventually try applying for positions to experience the process of science research firsthand. There are many opportunities, and all the best in your adventure.